Hello, everyone. Good evening. Mic check. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me, please. All right. Thank you, everyone. So let us do a brief recap from yesterday. What did you learn? What were your key takeaways from yesterday's class? Key takeaways from yesterday's class, please. Client onboarding and offboarding as a topic. I'm asking about the takeaway. Okay. Eisenhower matrix, importance of onboarding and offboarding. Effective ways of client onboarding. Project management, streamline tasks and ensure completion, tools for client offboarding, prioritizing our time and completing tasks in order of importance. Okay. Onboarding is a process of integrating new clients, steps for effective client onboarding, why proper offboarding is important. Yes. Okay. Let's keep it coming. Why it's important to onboard and offboard a client, project management, and managing time. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing thus far. We'll go right into today's class. So, another introduction, just in case you have not met me before. My name is Ololade Akingbade, and I have 6 years of experience in administrative leadership, administrative roles, and customer success. 6 years cumulative. I started out as a personal assistant, and then I moved on to and being an executive assistant. I work with Diola Sego Limited. Currently, I work with Mono Technologies as a partner success specialist. So if you want to connect with me, I'm very active on LinkedIn, Ololade Akingbade. So business operations and growth. That's our main topic for this week. And yesterday we looked at onboarding and offboarding. We also looked into project management as well as time management yesterday. And I gave you a task which is due tomorrow. It's a very simple task that I somehow integrated into your day-to-day activities. So it's due tomorrow at 6 p.m. Today we're looking at scaling your virtual assistant business. Of course, because we understand that our goal is that grow you grow and to the point where you need to scale. And so that's why we're taking this topic today, because we believe that once you get out there and start working, very soon you expand and then you need to scale. All right. So moving on, introduction. Scaling means growing your business without increasing costs proportionally. It's about increasing revenue while maintaining or lowering your operational costs. So you want to scale your business. You don't Scaling your business, you don't necessarily always have to increase your costs. You can increase revenue, because I mean scaling is you increase revenue, and but you can maintain your operational costs or even reduce it. Okay, so the difference between growth and scaling is growth, you add more resources like time, more resources like employees, but your revenue is at the same pace. However, scaling, you increase revenue without a proportional increase in cost or effort. So when I say proportional, it doesn't mean you will not increase in, you may increase in cost, but the cost is not in direct proportion to your growth. That's what I mean. So yes, you might have to increase it. When you're scaling, you might increase your operational costs, but it is not in the direct proportion of how much you're growing compared to growth, where you have to probably increase your resources, maybe increase employee, increase time, and then your revenue is still at the same pace, right? Okay. So now, why is scaling important for your business as a virtual assistant? Number one, when you scale, it helps you maximize your profitability. I would explain how this is so very soon. I'll explain how this is so. Sorry, give me. Okay, I was saying signs that it's time to scale your VA business. Number one, increased client demand. You have When you find out that you're not having consistent inquiries, from potential clients, but your schedule is always fully booked. Sometimes you even have to tell clients, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't have time," or "I'm fully booked this week, I'm fully booked that week." Then that might be a sign that you need to start to consider scaling. Okay, another sign which will help you realize that you need to consider scaling is when you're overwhelmed by the current workload. So for example, you're struggling to meet deadlines, you're struggling to deliver high quality work, tasks are piling up faster than you can handle them, and it just feels like there's just too much for you to even handle at the same time. And this is not because you're being lazy, or you're being indisciplined, or you're allowing distractions. Like, you are genuinely putting in the work, but it just feels like there's too much you're doing at the same time, right? That might be a sign for you to, okay, start to consider scaling your business. Okay, now another sign for you to consider scaling your business is the desire for higher revenue. You just feel like, I mean, I've been on this level, I've been maybe on the level of 6 zeros for too long, I need to move to 7 zeros now. you know and the only way you can grow or scale is to either increase your rates. And for you to be able to increase your rates, I mean, it's value, right? You have to also increase your value offering, or you expand your business capacity. Okay, then another sign is when you need specialization, when there's need for specialization rather. So for example, your clients are always requesting a particular service, and you're like, you don't have the expertise, and you're started getting a lot of inquiries about this particular service. You will always get, "Oh, I need to do this, I need to you like." If it feels like, in fact, in a week you probably get 10 inquiries about that same service. That might be a sign that you need to scale. So in that regard, scaling will look like either you hiring someone that has that expertise and then outsourcing the job to them, or you would have to learn that particular skill so you can take it on yourself. So you see why I said scaling is not necessarily you having to spend more money or increase your operational costs sometimes. If you remember when I said that, um when I was defining the difference between growth and scaling. All right. Ade Formula, you said, can you submit your time before 6 p.m.? Yes, that's absolutely fine. You can. So key considerations before you scale. Okay, even though you are already seeing signs. Okay, I mean, for care, you said you can't hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me now. Let me know if this is just you or it's peculiar. It's everyone. Let me know if it's peculiar to you or it's everyone. So now, why scaling is, as I was saying, key considerations before you scale your business. You need to ask yourself questions. Are your current processes efficient and scalable? Because with scaling is quite you can't just decide out of emotions or I just want to earn a lot of money alone, and then you decide to take on just scale without proper planning. So you need to ask yourself questions. Are your current processes efficient? Are they scalable? Do you have systems in place to take on more clients? If, for example, you have been offering, maybe you want to add web design services to your own business, do you have the tools, the software to produce high quality web designs? Do you have all these things? These are questions you need to ask yourself, that okay, now that I'm considering scaling, what are the things I need to put in place for this to happen effectively? Now, the second thing is, do you have a strong client base and consistent revenue? Because when you're planning on thinking of scaling, sometimes scaling might require you to spend some money. So maybe you want to scale and add up, you want to add what's it called now? Maybe graphic design services to your list of skills or offerings. Do you have a client base that can make a demand of those skills? Do you have them? Or what you are trying to where you're trying to expand into, is there a ready market for it? Are those people accessible to you? Are you accessible to them? Then are you ready to invest in systems, tools, or team members to support your scaling efforts? So when you decide to scale and probably you start to get the clients increase in numbers, are you ready to spend money, invest in the tools that you need to support this effort? These are questions you need to ask yourself before you decide to scale. Then, why is scaling important? One, it helps you maximize your profitability because it helps you it helps you, you're as profitable as possible. You're not leaving anything on the table because you have set systems in place. No matter how many jobs come in, you're able to take everything and effectively churn out good quality work. You're not compromising on quality because you have set up systems and processes in place. It also helps you to free up your time to focus on high value tasks or strategic business development. So you're not doing all these mundane things because you have scaled. And scaling can also look like automation. When you feel like, oh, this work that I'm doing, I mean, I can save 1 hour on each of these tasks if I just automate, or if I pay for a software that allows me automate. That is also an example of scaling. So for example, you probably used to do your um invoicing, or maybe you were working with maybe you were working with a CEO, and then you're always sitting in his meetings, and of course every time he's sitting in his meetings, you have to take notes. After taking notes, you then go back to listen. That's the old way of doing it. Go back to listen to the voice recording, and then you start to transcribe, and then you find out that just from the point of the meeting till you get the meeting minutes together, you're spending like meeting can take like 3 hours, and you're spending like maybe 2 hours trying to transcribe, listening, pause the recording, transcribe. And you're like, this is so time consuming, and you cannot take on another client because of that. And you're like, okay, how about I pay for a transcription software? So there are softwares that do that for you, where you only, in fact, some of them you don't even need to even take any notes. Just put them there, like some plug them into the meeting, connect them to your calendar, and they will be there. They will take they will take the notes for you, and then you can pick out the notes, maybe edit a few things to your taste, and then that's it, is done in minutes. So that has saved you time. You pay for those kind of softwares. That has saved you. That's an example of scaling, because you know that this thing that used to take you maybe 5 hours to do before, it's not taking you 1 hour because you were able to invest in automation. It's now automated. You don't need to do. There's no much human interference, and then you can move from there and said, okay, now that I have more free time, I can take on another client, to support. I mean, since I have this software supporting me, I can take on one more client conveniently without being overstressed, without burning out myself. So that is an example of scaling, right? So are you willing to invest in it? Not that you just sit there like, I want to earn more money, I want to offer this service, I want to take more clients. But okay, come and pay for software or something, or someone that will work with you to make your work easier. Like, no, what can I pay $27 every month for this kind of stuff? Do you know how much that is converted to naira? No, 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 no. That's But how then do you want to scale? Right? Okay, so that's it. Then another thing that scaling also does for you is it ensures long-term sustainability by creating systems that operate without your constant involvement. So again, for example, if you probably decide that your own way of scaling is by taking on if you probably decide that your own way of scaling is by taking on more, um maybe you want to take on one more person, want to add one more person to your team. So want to add one more person to your team. So what you will do is, what I will do for you is, it helps you, because you can just delegate all those maybe little tasks that are not really like high level. You can delegate it to the person and just handle this. And even when you're not even there, the person can handle things. You can say, no, I want to even rest. I want to go on a vacation. 2 weeks, let me just go. I need to rest my brain. And there's somebody that your business does not have to shut down, because you have somebody there who is doing things for you, right? Then, of course, it avoids burnout. You're not going to be burnt out, because you already have systems or a person or structure in place to help. All right. Okay. So now I give an example here that a virtual assistant who is working 40 hours a week, managing 5 clients, wants to grow their income but cannot take on more hours. Obviously, if you're working 40 hours a week, that's like the maximum. That's the like, if anything more is already overworking yourself, because it means you don't have like work-life balance. Something will suffer for that. And so and then through scaling, she can automate her, maybe if her client onboarding was manual before, where she has to sit down with the client, run through questions, send questionnaires, and go over it, do all those things. She can get a software that would automate it. And once the software automates all of that process, she already has 5 hours already freed up from her time in a week. And that 5 hours, she can decide to take on another client. That's what scaling can look like. Okay. So yeah. Next slide. Now, scaling a virtual assistant business, I already explained that, means expanding your operations, take on more clients, improve service delivery, and increase revenue without compromising your quality. It's crucial to identify the right time to scale your business to avoid burnout or losing clients due to overextension. So you're always asking for extension. Sorry, please give me 5, give me 3 more days. Oh, I'm really sorry. Give me 7 more days. Oh, wow, I didn't know this man's work is already due. Please give me. You can't keep doing that, because you will lose clients. Can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me, please. Can you still hear me? Mic check. All right, thank you. So here, I gave an example here that a virtual assistant specializing in social media management she starts receiving requests from clients for additional services like email marketing and content creation. So instead of turning them down or taking on too much work herself, they can recognize it as a sign to bring in another VA with experts in content creation. So, for example, you're a virtual assistant and then you have always been doing social media management, but just realize that you're getting requests from people saying, "Oh, do you offer email marketing? Do you offer content creation? Do you offer all of those services?" And you're like, "Ah, wow, this looks like a potential growth opportunity." And you already found out that you had 5 different requests from people asking for the same thing. You're like, okay, this is a sign. And then you get someone who is very, very good at that, and then outsource it to them. You pay the person something and you keep your own percentage as well. So that way your client base is increasing. So you know that okay, you're working with more clients. Okay. So yeah, that's done about that. All right. Then now identifying growth opportunities. That's opportunities for growth. Okay. Now growth opportunities can take many forms. It could be increasing client numbers, to diversifying your service offerings, or expanding into new markets. But you need to properly access your current workload and identify where you can make the most impact. So when you're thinking about scaling, it's not just something you just decide like and just do arbitrarily, no premise, no basis. You're just like, what, this looks like the in thing, and I'm going for this. You're not even asking questions, you're not asking relevant questions to guide you on the right path. That's not how to scale. So, what opportunities you need to identify? What's the best place I can make impact? What's the best place I can enter? And then I know that yes, this would help me. This is where I'll make the most impact. This is where my skill would make the most impact for me. So now here's what we want to do. How do we identify these opportunities? How do we how do we see an opportunity and determine that okay, this is a very good opportunity for me to enter or to take advantage of? Okay, so first is you need to do your workload analysis. Your workload and sorry, your workload analysis, right? You break down how you're currently spending your time, and then you identify repetitive, time consuming tasks that can be outsourced to another virtual assistant. So, for example, you want to find out, okay, how am I even spending, like, um, how am I spending my time in terms of work? How much time am I allocating to what? You do a workload analysis, break it down. How are you currently spending your time? Are there any tasks that are repetitive, that are time consuming, times that you feel like if I give this to another person, it will not really affect anything? Or if I decide to pay for another software to automate this task, it will not really affect anything, and it will even free my time to take on more opportunities. That is already an avenue, an opportunity for growth. That is already, because once you do that, what that does for you is it now allows you to take on more tasks. It allows you to, and that's more revenue for you. So if, for example, it was only you if initially, and the highest you could take was 3 clients per time, and you decide, that, I'm getting more clients requests, and I'm turning them down. Let me identify my workload. What can I really give? I outsource to somebody. I want to hire another VA. I hope you know that assistants also have assistants. So I want to hire somebody else. I want to hire another VA that I can give some of all these other tasks that are not very high level, or that are not very demanding intellectually, that does not really require my direct input. Look at it as in do an analysis. If, for example, you spend about maybe 10 hours per week on those kind of tasks, okay, like, okay, so I'm going to hire somebody and give them this thing to do. So I know that with these 10 hours that I have now, I can take 2 more clients. So you see that I can take 2 more clients, and you know that that is more revenue for you. Even though you and what you of course you will pay the person who is working with you, but obviously you're going to pay the person and you will still get more profit from the businesses. That's a growth opportunity for you. Another one is client feedback. You could ask your clients, what additional services would you want me to offer? How can I improve? What service do you need? You can even look, and that's why with as an assistant, you look at your clients. If you find out that, oh wow, this I've been offering a particular service to this client, and I feel like if I suggest this to them, if they would really, it would help their business. Suggest it to them, and that can be a growth opportunity for you. Like, oh, and they'll be like, oh, so, and they'll be like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. For example, you've been offering administrative services to your client, and then you decided that, okay, this person, you works with a lot of numbers. I'm a data analyst as well. I've learned how to analyze data. Let me suggest it to them. Can I add data analytics to my work? I can analyze your data, I can draw inferences, I can give you suggestions based on your data. How about I add that to the service I'm offering you? And kind of like, oh, that's fine. And then that's another growth opportunity for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's how to identify growth opportunities, not things I just decide to just take on arbitrarily without any premise. Another thing is market demand. Are there any emerging trends or new tools in the industry that clients are asking about? It's a new tool, just suddenly the new tool was a new tool recently released. Like for example, Salesforce is not recently released anyway, but Salesforce is a tool that is peculiar to customer support, and it's used a lot. It's used for CRM integrations and all of that. It's a very complex tool. It's a complex that sometimes requires specialization. If, for example, you find out that you're around people, clients that require that tool a lot, you can decide to take a course on Salesforce. Or if you feel like you don't have time to take this course, you can decide to get somebody, hire the person. Are you a Salesforce specialist? Yes. I'm hiring you. Since I have about 6 different people I've identified that need this kind of service, so I will hire you. I will get the business from them. I will hire you. If, for example, they're offering you maybe $10 per hour, you can offer the person you're hiring, can offer them maybe $6 per hour. You've given them $6 per hour, you're keeping $4. That's a growth opportunity for you. So you understand what I'm saying, right? So you look at market demand. Is there any new tool that is in demand? Like it seems like this is a new tool, or something on a new tool is just being released, and would really help you in your industry. And you're like, what? Before this tool comes out and becomes popular, I want to learn it. So that once I learn it, and then it becomes I know that I have a leverage because I already know it. That's a market. That's an opportunity for you to scale. Okay. Please let me know we're following. Let me know we're following. I want to see your comments. Let me know you're following. Comment. All right. Thank you. So the next one here is creating a strategic business plan, right? So a solid business plan is critical for growth as it helps you set measurable goals, track your progress, and make informed decisions about when and how to scale your business. Without clear goals, it is easy to lose direction. Like I said earlier, if you want to scale, you don't just scale because it's like my mates are scaling. Let me also decide to scale. It looks like it's the next best thing that is raining now. Like I had mentioned earlier, there's certain signs that you look at that you will begin to see. You cannot just go and hire an assistant when even you, there's only one client you still have, maybe one client in a month, and like it feels good. I think I feel good if I have another assistant, or let me just hire the assistant first. No, that's not how to. That's not what you need. You can't scale. You can't do that because that means you're going to be losing money, right? So when you want to scale, you need to ask questions. I had already mentioned the signs that you look out for, how to identify where to even scale, what area to even scale, growth opportunities like this. What area are you going to make the most impact? What area would your impact would you get the most revenue from when you decide to scale? So you cannot just scale anywhere. Okay, all right. So now creating a strategic business plan. So a solid business plan is critical for growth. Like I said, as it helps you to set measurable goals, track progress, and make informed decisions about when and how to scale your business. Without clear goals, it's easy to lose direction. You can lose your direction if you don't have clear goals. So now setting clear goals and objectives for growth. First is you establish both your short-term and your long-term goals. Establish both your short-term and your long-term goals. For example, your short-term goal can be I want to increase my client base by 30% in 6 months. I want to increase my client. See, when I said short-term goal, I didn't just say, I want to have more money. I didn't just say, I want to have more customers. I didn't say that. I said I want to increase client base by 30% in 6 months. I I I stated what I wanted to do. My goal, what I want to achieve, is to increase my client base. I started in number how much clients do I want to add because that will help me know if I'm on track or not. And I put the time there as well. Increase client base by 30% in 6 months. Very simple. So I know if by month 4, I know if I'm on track or not. Not that I'll just leave it to just go bra. No bearing. I'll just say, I'm gonna have more customers. And you don't know if you're even making progress or not. There's nothing to measure your progress by. There's nothing to measure, nothing. You're just going. That's not how to set a goal. All right. A long-term goal can be I want to hire 2 additional VAs by the end of the year. That is a long-term goal. And that is, I have the goal, I have my timeline. It is very specific. It is specific. It is measurable. I can measure it. If by the end of the year I only hired 1 VA, I know that okay, this goal, I didn't meet up with this goal. Why did I not meet up with the goal? I can go back, I can trace my steps, I can know okay, this is where I probably fell off. As in it is easy, it helps me to get direction. Unlike if I'm like, I wanna be an employer of labor. That's very vague. An employer of labor when? What kind of employer of labor who do you want to hire? Is it employer of labor for your what are you really? Be specific. Okay? So very, very quick task. Based on your plan, because I believe that a lot of us here have plans in terms of our like what we want to do in terms of our virtual assistant career. So can you share your short-term goal in the chat? Just one. Because some of you might have more than one, that's okay. But based on how I just explained it to you, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable. Don't say, you are just starting out as a VA now, like I want to hire 25 VAs by the end of the year. When it's literally just two months to the end of the year, that's not an achievable goal, please. So it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be realistic, and it has to be time bound. So based on that, just one short-term goal for your virtual assistant career. I'll be reading it in the chat. Okay, so Onoche Obianiju says, I want to have at least 1 or 2 clients by the end of the year. Hope says to work for at least 1 client before the year runs out. So I'm still waiting for more. More, please. To get at least 5 clients. Interesting, Adenike. Okay. But Adenike, have you started out your career as a VA or you're just starting out? Esther says she wants to have a client in 2 months. All right. Can I have more? To put in the practical aspect of what I've learned, build portfolio and make money. Oluwa Solar, this is not a smart goal because there's no time and it's not even very specific. So we say to put the practical aspect of what you've learned. What have you learned? What exactly are you putting into practice? When are you going to put this into practice? For how long do you want to put this into practice? What are you looking to? So what is your aim? So yeah, that is not a specific. That's not a smart goal. To have where to intern before the year runs out. See, that is also not a smart goal because when you say to have where to intern, where do you want to intern? Do you want to intern in space? Do you want to intern on the moon? Do you want to intern in a company? Do you want to intern? Where do you want to intern? So that is also not a smart goal because it's not specific. Sarah says to get an internship at the end of the course, also not specific. Esther, for a short-term goal, you wish to onboard at least 2 clients for December 31. Okay. Who else? To have 1 client for the year because just starting up. That's Fuluke. All right. Thank you, everyone. So we'll continue now. Now, strategies for scaling. Okay. We have different strategies for scaling. Ayodele says enhance my skills in social media management and email marketing. Also not a smart goal because there's no timeline to this. There's no timeline to this. So it's not a smart goal. There's nothing to measure. How long do you want to take on this particular goal? So that's not measurable. It's not time bound, rather. Okay, so strategies for scaling. Scaling involves a strategic plan to expand your business model. Okay. It involves a strategic plan to expand your business model. So whether you want to expand through hiring more people or increasing price, or you want to have an agency, I hope you know that there's a difference between hiring VAs and having a VA agency. I'll explain as we go on into the class. But then each scaling strategy has its unique challenges and benefits. So the first scaling strategy that we're looking at here is building a team of virtual assistants. Like I said, because we believe that you will become very successful from this skill, and that's why we're teaching you all these things. We trust God that in no time you would have need to actually scale your business. Okay, so if you were here and you were just probably thinking that, well, let me just 1 client, let me just do, I don't even want to even imagine or think anything bigger. Please change that mindset. Think big, because when your mindset is expanded, like there's you see the first limitation you have to overcome is the limitation of your mind. Trust me, see all these external limitations, they're nothing compared to the limitation of your internal limitation, the limitation of your mind. So somebody might be wondering, or somebody might be asking and saying, so why are you teaching me about hiring a team of VA? Even me, have I even started being my own VA? I want you to see beyond now. I want you to look into the future, see where you're going. Like imagine yourself as either the owner of a virtual assistant agency or someone who has like probably 10 different virtual assistants working with them. Like see yourself having board meetings, having meetings, strategic meetings with clients, talking about business expansion, see yourself as a business partner, as a virtual business partner to customers, to clients. Like don't see yourself as just one just let me just be here, just one small space. I don't want too much. If I just manage to grab 1 client like this, we grab that client. Hey, just 1 client, I'll pay me $20 per hour. Hey, my life that's what I need. That's the only thing I need in this life. Please, there's way more. Change that mindset. Okay, change it. So like I said, somebody might be wondering and say, hey, you are teaching us we want to be a business. Which business? I was not thinking about all of those ones. So I just want to do one small thing. Let me just be in one small corner. You can't be in one small corner, because the Bible says, let your light shine before men. So how will your light shine when you are in the corner? The Bible says you are the light of the world, not the light of your bedroom or the light of your village or the light of your father's house. You are the light of the whole world. And so you need to begin to think like someone whose light will shine for the whole world to see. All right, so please pay attention because you will need this by God's grace very soon. Amen. Amen. Okay, so let's continue. Um, Building a team of VAs. First, benefit of expanding your workforce. Okay, because I mean, a lot of you are going to be employers of labor here by God's grace. Expanding allows you to delegate tasks and take on more clients without overwhelming yourself. That's it. It's that simple. You now have more people that can take on more tasks. So you have more money coming in, and you don't have to do everything. So if, for example, it was just you and you were just taking on like only 3 clients per month, but now that you have expanded, you now have maybe 1 or 2 people working with you. You can now take on 10 clients per month, and from that income, you're able to pay your assistants, and even your own take home would also increase. And then you're also not overwhelmed as well, and you're also helping the life of somebody. I mean, the people you're hiring, you are also putting food. God is using you to put food on their table, right? So you're making impact. Then with a team, you can diversify your service offerings and ensure that no single person is overloaded. So when you have a team, you know that okay, you already have you have 2 people. You are distributing the work between yourself and the 2 people that you have. And when you find out that wow, this job is really getting like is a lot, hire one more person. And they're like, wow, there's so much more work coming in, hire another person. Okay, so that you're not overloaded and you're also not overloading somebody else as well. Then tips for recruiting and managing a team. First is mic check. Please let me know you can hear me. Mic check, please. Oops. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Please let me know you can hear me. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you for coming, for your patience. Um, all right. So let's proceed. Thank you. Where were we? So yes, we're talking about hiring, tips for recruiting and managing a team. So hire for skills you don't have or tasks that you no longer have time for. So for example, you don't have a particular skill and you feel like you would that niche is an opportunity for growth. That niche is an opportunity to scale, and you don't want to learn the particular niche. You can hire for it, or you just feel like, you know what, there's some tasks that you don't have time for anymore, and you just need to outsource it. You feel like these ones are you don't really want to do them anymore, you don't have time for them, you can outsource it as well. Or you just feel like, you know what, you can still do it, but you want to take on more. You can also outsource so somebody can do it. Okay, so use tools like Slack for communication and Asana for project management to keep your team organized. The last thing, because one thing with hiring is you also need to be a good manager. You also need to be a good team manager to be able to be able to manage people properly. Because if you're not a good team manager, you will end up frustrated. The person who you hire will also end up getting frustrated. So put systems in place, put structures in place that would enable you manage your team properly. So you can use tools like Slack for communication. You know, you can use tools like Asana for project management, where you can have your project um properly outlined. You know, you tag the teams, the different persons, the person who is in charge of the particular project, you tag them to it. Just be very it will help your organization. And then of course, please define their roles, responsibilities, and performance metrics. Let them know what they're expected to do. Let them know what is expected of them. You know, what are they responsible for? How do you track their performance? Okay, and then consider outsourcing your own HR or recruitment process if hiring and managing staff isn't your forte. If you're not good at it, if you know you cannot manage staff properly or you cannot hire properly, you can get outsource your HR. But I would not advise you doing that at the early stages, or if you are just trying to get maybe one person, because if you're outsourcing HR, that is also another cost implication as well. So when you begin to outsource HR, maybe you have like a team of 5 or a team of 10. Hey, I mean, you have enough inflow to be able to bear that cost without feeling it. So, um, I mean, Omotola, you said yesterday, I said Slack is like Google Chrome. Slack is not like Google Chrome. Google Chrome is a browser. Slack is a communication tool. Um, Asana is Asana has a free version. You can use Asana for free if you don't want to pay. I'm not sure if I don't know if they have a paid version, but I know yes, they have a free version. So, um, I give an example here. A virtual assistant who offers bookkeeping service can't manage all her clients as her business grows. So she hires another VA who would specialize in data entry and QuickBooks to handle smaller clients, allowing her to focus on higher paying clients or more complex work. So the same thing I've been saying. There's a virtual assistant who offers bookkeeping services, but she cannot manage all her clients because her business is growing. And because she can't manage all her clients, she hires another VA, and then she outsources to the other VA and tells the person, okay, you are going to be working on data entry and QuickBooks, right, for smaller clients. And so I can focus on higher paying clients or more complex tasks. So that you see that way you are able to focus on more things that are more that can even bring you more revenue, and then you give somebody else something else to focus on and you're not overwhelmed. All right. Another example here is that a VA who provides social media marketing services, a social media marketer start to see growth, and then it feels like there's a lot of work coming in, and then they hire an assistant to help her with, okay, I'm going to hire you for help me with my scheduling, help me with my engagement and all of that. Respond to comments, respond to DMs, or just all these engagements. Just you will handle it, everything that has to do with scheduling my post and all of that, you will be the one to handle this. I will be the one to handle content creation. I will handle strategy, how to grow my page or how to grow these different pages that I'm handling, and how to get more clients. So you will handle all of that for me. So you see how it is easy to help you. So that way you're able to build capacity, you're able to increase your capacity without burning out. And you're able to even get in more revenue without burning out. Okay. So yeah, that is it. Titi Lyle, Slack is more similar to Discord than Telegram. It's more like Discord than Telegram. Okay, so we're at 8:03 p.m. and we need to go on break. So break is ideally 10 minutes. So 8:13. We'll come back at 8:13 p.m. And when we come back, we'll continue our strategies for scaling. Thank you everyone and see you soon. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back from the break. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Technical assistance, please put up my slide. Thank you. Please put my slides back up. Please put my slides back up, please. All right, so welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we're talking about strategies for scaling your virtual assistant business. And we talked about when you have to build a team of virtual assistants and tips for hiring and managing that team. So the next thing we're looking at now is virtual assistant agency. I remember I had said earlier that there's a difference between a virtual assistant agency and managing a team of VAs, right? Now, managing a team of VAs is where you have yourself and then you hire a team to work with you. However, um, I will go into what a virtual assistant agency actually means shortly. But let me take this introduction. Transitioning from a solo VA to running a VA agency is a major step that requires a shift in your mindset from doing the work yourself to managing a team and clients. Understanding the differences between a VA team and an agency model is key to success. So basically, what I just said here is that there's a major difference. Going from being the only virtual assistant working for yourself, working by yourself, is different from when you now have a whole agency. Okay, so the model is quite different. Now, the differences between a VA team and an agency model is so. Remember, I had also said earlier about like when you have a team. So, for example, you want to outsource some things, or you want somebody to join you. That's when you have like a VA team. Maybe you have one person, two people here, and they just join you to do more work. That's when you have a team. However, when you have an agency, now, the difference between that and an agency model is that for your VA team, you have like a small group of VAs, that work together under one lead VA. You are the lead VA, right? And then other members handle different tasks. You have one lead VA, which is you in this case, and then you have other people that are working with you to manage different things. You can give them, oh, you manage this one, manage this person, manage that person. No, this is one, this is not very difficult. You can do this, you can, but you are also there as a VA as well. You also have your own things that you're doing as a virtual assistant. Like you are hands-on, you are also working as a virtual assistant as well. But as an agency model, as an agency owner, you are hiring multiple VAs. So this is not a small group anymore. You now have like multiple VAs or specialized contractors. And the focus shifts from you're not really doing the work yourself anymore now. What you're now really doing is managing the client relationship and team's performance. So you're not necessarily handling a client by yourself. What you're doing is you are getting in clients, you are giving the clients to different contractors under your company, and you are managing, ensuring that they are performing well, performing optimally. So what you are majorly focused on is bringing in the clients and managing your team's performance. You're not you yourself. You're not doing the work. You're not getting hands-on. You're not the one managing the client's project. You're not the one doing the work. You're not the one managing the client's calendar, scheduling, and all of those things. You now have a team working on it, and they're supervising them. You're overseeing them, and then you're also in charge of bringing in new business. So that is the difference. In the agency model, you may not directly interact with every client or complete every task. See that? Instead, your focus is on project management, ensuring your team delivers quality work. So in this model, you don't have to work on, oh, let me be the one to create this content myself. Let me be the one to work on this project myself. Oh, I need to schedule this. Oh, I have I need to, this client has a board meeting. I need to sit in and take the minutes of that. They're not the one doing all of that. What you're doing is you're ensuring that those people that are working with you in your agency are delivering quality work. You are there to manage the project. You're there to get the business. You're there to manage their work. Okay. Now, transitioning from a solopreneur that's been alone to the owner of an agency, start by building a solid base of clients before you hire, because your VAs will not hear stories. Oh, when it's time for salary has to be paid. So ensure you have a client base, like your client base is solid. You have people that are ready on ground, ready for you to begin to give work out. You have clients that are ready to hire your VAs. So ensure you have them on ground. Outsource repetitive or lower tax to VAs that you trust. Develop a pricing model that covers the cost of your team while maintaining a profit margin, because you are in business and you are there to make profits. You don't want a situation whereby after you have finished paying your team and then maybe paying for operational costs, you are now left with 0 naira. You are left with nothing. So please, when you are developing your pricing model, take into consideration different things. Take into consideration things like your profits, your operational costs, your salaries, your cost of running your team, maintaining your team, the different softwares that you use. Take all those things into consideration when you're developing pricing. Please, it's very important. Then implement systems and processes for consistency across projects. You should develop a system whereby you don't want a situation whereby somebody is coming to you and saying, well, I don't understand. Your VA they didn't do this, is not on this, unlike you. This person did not do this properly. Because you have a brand that you're trying to you have a brand reputation. So ensure that you have a system your work where your quality is consistent across projects, such that they'll be like, trust me, if any VA from this company is the same kind of quality that you get. It doesn't matter who it is, or as long as it is from this person's agency, it's the same thing. So you can have different, maybe writing guides, you can have different tools, workflows, SOPs, different, maybe you can have like ways of report. Just ensure you have a system whereby everybody is doing quality work, whereby you're not having a situation whereby one person is doing work that is not good, and then your client is complaining, and then the other person is doing okay, and they're like, no, I want this person, I want this other person. Do you get it? So please ensure that you have systems, you have structures in place, such that you are able to, regardless of who is doing the work, the quality is the same across board. Okay. So moving on. Now, so this is an example. A VA who specializes in website development can decide to expand. So, for example, you are specializing in web development. You're a web developer. That's what you do for people. And you're like, you know what? I think it's time to expand. I have a lot of clients in the tech space. I have a lot of clients, and my client base is my client base is so rich, and I want to just expand my offerings. I want to offer like a whole the whole digital marketing package. I want to have a content writer. I want to have a graphic designer. I want to have an SEO. I want to offer all these services, and I don't just want to be doing only web development. I want to transition into a full blown marketing agency, digital assistant. I want to have a full blown agency for digital assistants. Any digital need, any digital service, you can get it at my agency. So as not anything web development, web design, anything that has any kind of assistance, digital assistance you need, you can get it at my agency. That is something. So you have content writer on your team, you have graphic designer on your team, you have SEO expert on your team, you have web developer on your team, you have all those things. So it's full blown for you, right? So you can move away from just being the only person doing it. You now have a whole team you're managing. Okay, if yours is an administrative assistant agency, you want to have all administrators offering different things. You want to have support, social media management, you want to have content creators, you want to have email marketing, you want to have all of that on your team. That is also up to you. Okay, so yeah, that's an example. So moving on, marketing your services. Okay, effective marketing is essential for growing your business and attracting new clients. As a virtual assistant, your services may not be as well known or understood by potential clients. Like I had mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago, I said that when you mention virtual assistants, you hear people only thing they realize is, it's only administrative assistants. Schedule my calendar, schedule my meetings, come and take meetings at my minutes at my meetings, come and that's the only thing that comes to their mind. They don't realize that you can actually be a digital marketing assistant. When you say virtual assistants, it simply means an assistant that you are rendering virtually. And that assistance can be administrative, it can be digital, it can be accounting, it can be bookkeeping, it can be health, it can be whatever. As long as it's an assistance and you are offering that service virtually, it qualifies to be called virtual assistance. So, but because, like I said, a lot of people, when you just say virtual assistance, the only thing they remember is, PA, administrate, admin, That's all that's where their mind goes to. But it's way beyond that. If you're offering writing, if you're a writer, maybe you're very good at email marketing, content creation, SEO draft, SEO writing. You're offering writing services. You're offering content service. You're a content assistant. You're offering content creation services. That's you offering services. You're assisting them. They want, what's their goal? They probably want to rank very high on social media. They want to attract clients through their blog posts. They need assistance, and you are there giving them that assistance. So it's beyond just administration. So here, like I said, a lot of people, your services may not be well known by clients. Okay, so that's why you have to communicate your value. Some people might tell you, is it not just to write content? Maybe you're an SEO writer, for example, and then you're charging according to what you should charge as an SEO. They're like, just ordinary content. And it now depends on you to educate them. Now, no, it's not just ordinary content. If you write just ordinary content, it may not rank high on Google search. But if I decide to write you an SEO content, that will improve your ranking. So it is your duty to educate them. It's your duty to market your services properly. Communicate the value that you're bringing. When you're marketing, don't market your service. Say, hey, actually, I'm a virtual assistant. Market the value. Tell them, I'm saving you time. Like, I'm freeing up your time. That's what you should market, not yourself. Who cares if you went to if you have 5 certifications in your portfolio? That's your achievement, not your client's achievement. What your client wants to know is how much value you are bringing to the table, and that's what you should market. That's what you should sell. Let them understand what they are missing out if they don't hire you. Let them know what you're bringing to the table. If they hire you, if they hire you as a search engine, as an SEO writer, let them understand that every blog post that you write is going to rank very high on Google. And when it ranks very high on Google, there are higher chances of their customers coming in, of their customers seeing those blog posts. And of course, because of how well you craft your blog post, they would have a higher chance of even retaining, of acquiring those customers. And even after you have done after you have acquired those customers, you will also even create more blog posts that would also project the value of the product that they are offering, so that they will, beyond acquiring, they'll also retain customers. That is value you're preaching. That's better than saying, I'm an SEO writer. Congratulations, anybody can be an SEO writer, right? So please sell your value, market your service, be very value driven. And that's why when you're doing these things, the questions you ask yourself is, how am I adding value? How can I add value? The first question you ask yourself is not, how much money will I get? Oh, money. No, money answers to value. All right. So yeah, a solid marketing strategy not only helps you reach your target audience, but also differentiates you from competitors. You are different from your competitors. Like, they'll just have you realized that there's some people that are they charge a premium for their business, but they don't lack clients. So that's to tell you that money is not the problem. Sometimes value is the problem. It's either you're not giving enough value, or you're not communicating enough value. So your clients, your potential clients, don't even know that you have the value that they're looking for. I hope you got that. So, like I said, it is not a money problem. Sometimes it can be a value problem. It can be that you're not even attacking the right audience. You're not attracting, rather, the right audience. Okay, so strategies for effective marketing and branding. Define your brand identity. Very, very important. Define your brand identity. Clearly articulate what sets you apart from other virtual assistants. Like I said, it is simple. What is your competitive advantage? What is that thing, such that if they bring you among like 50 virtual assistants, you say, you see this one thing, just give it to Queen. You see this one thing, give it to Ayade. You see this one thing, give it to Rukewe. This one thing, no, give it to her. What is that thing that sets you apart? What unique skill do you have? Or what industries do you serve? Like, for example, you have like artificial intelligence now. You have cybersecurity. Not every virtual assistant can function properly in these industries. You can decide, you know what, I'm going to go into these industries. You see, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, I'm going to go in that industry and serve as an assistant there and work as an assistant there. I want to assist the CEOs. I want to assist the C-suite executives in this industry. That can be your selling point. So what differentiates you? What specific problems do you solve? You see, this particular problem, I have identified it, and I will solve this problem to like, I will make sure I solve the problem so well that anybody that has this problem, they will look for me. So when you have a well-defined brand, it will resonate more with your clients. You don't want a situation whereby you are just, you know how they say, in Nigeria we say something like, just bring everything. You see that one I cannot do. Do you get it? Doesn't That's not brand, that's not building a brand. Have what you stand for. Okay? So develop a professional website. Yeah, this one is great. Develop your professional website. If you're just starting out, you don't necessarily need to do this yet. Develop a professional website. So, for example, you don't have to do this if you're just starting out, but along the line, you can begin to consider this. Okay, and there are also websites that allow you, like, they don't require a lot of technical expertise as well. You could even start. You could even have a WordPress blog that does not require a lot of professional expertise as well. So, build your website. Your website should showcase your services, client testimonials as you're growing. You should have these things, case studies, have an engaging blog, showcase your value. These things will be like your digital storefronts, and it can really, really improve your credibility. When people, because sometimes just like, okay, I want to even see what have you done, and then they see your website well engaging, just they'll feel like I really want to work with this person. All right. So next is content marketing. Create valuable content. Okay. And the truth is, it doesn't matter whatever you're doing, whatever niche you are in. Create content. Put it there, like blogs. It can be content can be a blog. It can be a video content. It can be infographics. Create it. Let your content address common pain points that are faced by your target audience. So you get to, like, for example, if you are a social media um if you are a maybe if you really want to work if you want to work in the finance industry, for example, and you really love finance, you want to work with um business owners in the financial industry, you can start creating content around common business or finance mistakes that business owners are making. Put it out there because you know your target audience are business owners, and you know that you want to help solve their financial pain points. Begin to put out content. Oh, common business mistakes that are being made by business owners. Different content. You be at that way you're attracting your target audience. That way you're attracting your target audience. Okay. All right. So, I hope we're following. So, building a strong online presence. Okay, a strong online presence is very important in today's, like, digital. You can't this is not you have to be online, right? So people can see you, so it can be visible. You need to be online. You cannot It's not negotiable. Okay, so build that presence. And it's not only having a website is great, but be active on social media where your target audience congregates, where you know that, if you are really looking at professionals, then it means that your target audience might most likely be on LinkedIn. If your target audience, you're looking to work with maybe small business owners, you might be looking at Instagram. Just look out for where your target audience congregates, and that's where you should target first. Like, target it, that establish your presence there. So, utilizing social media and networking for client acquisition. How do you use social media to grow your client network? Choose the right platforms. Which platform does your ideal client use? If you are looking at working with a company, for example, LinkedIn might be your go-to. If you're looking at working with CEOs, with startups, LinkedIn might be the best place to be. If you're looking at maybe lifestyle brands, influencers, you want to be an influencer, as you want to assist an influencer, Instagram might be the best bet. So wherever you have your target audience, that's what you don't want to work for um a lifestyle. You don't if, for example, you might be a lifestyle assistant, for example, and then you're on LinkedIn. That's not your best bet. You will see most often than not, the major part of your audience are on Instagram, right? So also put out engaging content. Regularly share content that shows your expertise, that shows that you are really good at this. Share tips. Oh, tip this one is a tutorial 101 on XYZ. This one on that. Share tips. That's how people will know that you know your onions. And another thing that helps you to do is that it also helps you to even learn more, because when you are doing this, you are researching, and by researching, you are improving your knowledge base. Okay, use eye-catching visuals. Use compelling captions that would engage your audience. That way, you are drawing attention to yourself. Then network is very important. Please network. Actively participate in online communities. Build connections. Like share your services. Don't hesitate to offer value through advice, insights. Just be active. Don't just say, "Ah, I don't like people. I don't like people. I don't want people to." No. If there's a community that where has the people you're looking to work with, be there. Join these communities. Build connections. Share the just be approachable. Okay. So yeah. Then now another way to also scale your business is through partnerships. I understand that you have competition, right? But sometimes you can, rather than sometimes you have healthy partnerships. You can collaborate with other professionals who offer complementary services, and that can create a win-win situation where both parties benefit from shared leads and business growth. So identify potential partners. Look for businesses that serve audiences that are similar to yours, but the services are different. For example, you work with maybe like someone who is a social media manager, and you are an email marketer. You can walk up to the person and like, oh, we can actually collaborate. How about you sell my service to you can let your clients, right? Your clients definitely have they probably be gathering emails of their customers, and they've not been using those emails for anything. We can use those emails to bring them repeat clients, and then you benefit from that person's lead, that person's client base, and you can now also sell the person's service to your own client base, those that you are handling their email marketing. Let them, oh, I have a very great social media marketer, that can actually help you manage your social media page. So you see, it's a win-win situation. You have the same client base, the same target audience, but you're offering different services. Collaborate. Okay, networking. I already mentioned networking earlier. Please network. It's very, very important. Here's an example here. A virtual assistant who specializes in web management. You can partner with a web designer. Okay, the designer will refer clients who need support for their websites, and the VA will provide designer with clients who need web service. So it's a win-win, really. Sometimes you might just need to collaborate as well to improve your own client base and bring in repeat businesses. Okay, so with that, we've come to the end of today's class. Now we take questions. Any questions before we call it a night? Any questions, feedback? What did you learn so far before we call it a night? Queen, you're saying from last week's class, I was not, I was not the facilitator for last week's class. So I didn't take you last week. Questions, please. Questions, please. So I'm assuming there are no questions and you all got everything today. I'm assuming there are no questions and everything that was taught today was well understood. Hope says from yesterday's assignment, are we to include specific time for the tasks? Well, you can actually. Yeah, you can actually. You can include time for the tax. Financial management. Okay, so that honestly, I can't. I've have you watched the video? Because I don't have that slide right here before me, so I don't even know what aspect you are referring to. If I have, I should be able to, I'll check if I'm able to. I'll just check to know, because I'm not even sure what you're referring to here, but I'll probably look at the slides and maybe talk about it in class tomorrow if there's time for that. Okay, so I don't think there are any more questions from today's class. I'll just wait for about 2 more minutes, and if there are no questions, we will call it a wrap. How can you collaborate as an organization? Of course, you can collaborate as an organization. You can decide to look out for organizations that have the same clients that you need, but you're not necessarily offering the same services. So let me think about an example. So if you are a VA, for example, and you have maybe a VA, like VA agency, virtual assistant agency, you can decide to collaborate with maybe an organization that has, um, maybe you have a tech community, for example, a body. So maybe a body of business professionals or CEOs. You can collaborate with them and tell them, oh, this business, I mean, you have a body of business, you are a body of business of CEOs in a startup space, and I have a virtual assistant agency, and I know that you will greatly benefit from this agency. So let's collaborate. So yeah, that's it. Mary said, I said you can source for more VAs. Does a VA source for that VAs? Of course. An assistant can actually have an assistant. So yes, that's very possible. As a trained VA looking for internship, can you advise on how to build client base? So that I already mentioned it. Start putting out content. Let people know you. Start reading. Which first of all, identify your target audience. Who are you looking to serve? Where are you looking to work? Where are you looking to work? Who are you looking to serve? Um, who are the people that are your audience? That's where you start from. What kind of content would they be interested in? What are their pain points? What problems are they facing that you can bring solutions to? Start putting out content, quality content, please, and then definitely that's one step in the right direction. Pascaline said, "Do I think entry is a thriving niche?" So rather than data entry, I would say learn data analytics. Data analytics is very more valuable than data entry, because the data analytics, they are providing value, you're not extracting value from data. So that's much more thriving than data entry. Data entry is like very, enter data, like that's just about it. But data analytics, you enter the data and then you analyze that data, and use it to make informed decisions. All right, so that's it for today. And I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. To have a great evening.